Hello friends, how are you doing today? I'm really happy to be here again today to share a little bit of yoga with you. Maybe we'll do some breathing. And we're going to do I Am Yoga today. This is a really favorite story of mine. This story, I Am Yoga, is written by Susan Verde. And the art or the illustrations in the story are by Reynolds. I love the message of this story. And in this story, we have some yoga poses to learn, and then we're going to put it all together at the end and do it in a song. So before we start that, let's take a minute and let's just get ourselves ready for a little bit of yoga. So I'm going to find my mindful body sitting nice and tall. Remember to imagine that string coming out from the top of your head, allowing your spine to be pulled upwards. Imagine, boys and girls, your spine is made up of bones. They're called vertebrae and they're stacked on top of each other. If we sit up really tall, can you imagine some space in between those vertebrae? Probably some of you are doing some schoolwork now. You're sitting at a table and maybe your back looks like this. It's a little bit slumped. You might even be working on a keyboard, a computer, or you might have a tablet in your hand. And look what's happening to my spine. But when we sit up really tall, that allows all that fluid in our brain to flow all the way up, right up from the bottom of our spine, right up to our brain. Let's take a breath together here, boys and girls, in our mindful body. Hands resting on your knees. Let's think about our shoulders. Can you make them nice and relaxed, but still sit up with a tall spine? And let's breathe in through our nose. And then let it all the way out with your mouth. Should we try that again together? Let's do an inhale. And an exhale. That's wonderful. That makes me feel better. I was thinking also about some things that we could do together, kind of tools. You know how when someone is going to build something, maybe build a house, they have a lot of tools that they use to help them with their construction. And so they might have like a tool belt on or a toolbox. I wonder if we could start to think about all the tools that we can put in our toolbox to help us when we feel a little bit unsettled. Maybe when our breathing is too fast, or when we can't fall asleep at night, or when we feel angry. So for each video, let's practice one tool that we have that will be able to help us in any of those situations. Sometimes, even if I just have nothing to do, I might practice one of these tools. And then what we're going to do today is our finger fiddle. Will you do finger fiddle with me, boys and girls? Let's take both of your hands and put them together in front of you. And we're going to connect all of our fingers and our thumbs. Can you do that with me? Can you try that? And then we're going to really concentrate and focus. It's a little bit of an exercise for our brain. And we're going to tap only starting with our thumbs. So can you see how all the rest of my fingers are going to stay together? I'm going to count to 5. Will you do it with me? You can count out loud or just count quietly inside your brain. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now it might get a little bit more tricky now because we're going to try to keep all of our fingers together, and just this pointer finger in the front, we're going to try to tap that 5 times, but leaving the rest of our hands joined together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What about that tall finger right in the middle? Are you ready? Let's try it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the finger right beside the tall finger in the middle, I call that my ring finger because I have rings on both of those fingers. Here we go. Let's try it to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then our tiny little baby finger. Can you keep them all connected except for your baby finger? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How does that feel? That's called finger fiddle. That's one of the tools you can put in your imaginary toolbox, put it right inside there, and anytime you need it, pull it out. Maybe you could teach that to your mom or your dad or brother or sister, because finger fiddle is something that all of us can use to help our brain. So friends, are you ready to do a little bit of yoga together? I was thinking about talking to you a little bit today about the word yoga. The word yoga sometimes can be a little bit confusing for people because it means different things to different people. For me, when I think of the word yoga, to me it means coming together. So bringing together our breath, so our breathing that we practice, and our mind, and our body and movement, bringing all of that together. I also like to think of yoga meaning bringing us together, because you and I get to come together and share some yoga together, and that is also a form of connection. I'm really happy to be connecting with you. Even though we can't be together in our studio or in school, we still get to connect and practice yoga together. In our story, I Am Yoga, it talks about how challenging it can feel when the world feels really, really big, and when we feel really small in that world. And so the character in our story, sometimes she feels that she has a lot of challenges. But when she practices yoga and does some of her yoga poses, she starts to feel a little bit better. She tells us in the story that the world feels really big. And you know what, my friends? Even though Miss Cheryl's an adult, right now I feel like the world is really, really big, and I feel really tiny and small in the world right now. It also talks about in this story when your brain and your mind is moving really, really quickly, and we need to tell our brain and our body just to slow down and find some stillness. And in the story, the little girl finds that when she practices her yoga poses, it helps her. It helps her to find stillness and helps her to quiet her wiggling body and her thinking mind by doing yoga and by breathing. So I thought we could practice some of the poses in our story, I Am Yoga, together, and then let's put it together in a song. And you can do it along with me. Some of you may be able to sing along with me, and we'll have a little bit of fun. Okay, everybody, stand up and let's practice some of the poses that are in our I Am Yoga story and song together. Let's start with a mountain pose. So can you try this with me? Let's make our feet connect with our mat or just with the floor, wherever you are, and start to feel, maybe even rocking back and forth a little bit, wiggle your toes, and then connect all your toes with the floor. We're going to stand really tall. I like to bring my palms facing forward. That helps my shoulders to come back a little bit. And then I'm going to find some stillness in my mountain pose. Mountains are really tall, so I'm going to reach my head up towards the sky, and don't forget to breathe. So we're going to come into our mountain pose in this story, but we're going to do a few other poses which are really fun. So when I bring one foot back, boys and girls, and then one foot forward, and if I bend that front knee, and if I bring both my arms out, and I'm going to look in front of my front arm there. Do you see that? Does anyone remember what this pose is called? It's a really strong pose. That's right, it's called warrior pose. Beautiful. It's important that we do warrior pose on both sides when you do warrior pose. Now let's try it on the other side. Bend that front knee. Keep your legs really strong, holding your tummy, friends. Can you bring your arms out and have your hands even with your shoulders? Look over that front hand. Don't forget to breathe. You're amazing. Those are very strong warriors. That is beautiful. Now in our warrior pose, if we turn our front hand up towards the sky, and if we bring our back hand down, we can bring our hand all the way up, and we can find a peaceful warrior. Can you try peaceful warrior with me, friends? That's beautiful. Now let's come back into our warrior. This is warrior 2. Now friends, if I move my front foot a little bit again in front, and I bring my back foot over, but I bring both arms up. There we go. Now I'm finding another warrior pose, and this is our warrior 1. We can move from warrior 1 into warrior 2. So do you want to practice that flow one more time on the other side? We're going to move from our warrior one. Try this with me, boys and girls. My hips are facing forward. Do you see that? And my front knee is bent. And then I'm going to switch a little bit here. Now my hips are facing the side, but I'm still going to look forward into our warrior two. Don't forget to feel like such a strong warrior. Now we come into our peaceful warrior. Do you have that? So we're going to do that together in our song. Now for the rest of our song, boys and girls, just follow along and then sing with me. The chorus is really fun. We're going to sing I Am Yoga, and we're going to do a sun breath. Each time we're going to do it 3 times. I am yoga. And then we're going to stand tall and still, but I'd love it if you would sing with me. I'm going to sing along as well. So are you ready? Let's get started in that mountain pose, and we're all set to go. Please sing along with me. Here we go.
Do you ever feel small in a world so
Here we go.
big?
I feel small in a world so big. Just follow along. Wondering, how do I fit in? Are you ready? Just follow me. Here we go. I tell my wiggling body, my thinking mind, my racing breath.
That'll be fine.
Give yourself a hug. And here we go. Sun breaths in. Yoga, still and strong. You ready? I am yoga. Stand tall in your mountain. Breathe in again. Here we go. Now, breathe out, breathe in. When the world spins, my heart opens again. Just copy me. Are you ready? I can touch the sky, light up the night. Beautiful. Bring those arms down. Can you come down and tickle your toes? And then slowly, slowly come up. Here we go again. I tell my wiggling body, my thinking mind, my racing breath that I'll be fine. 3 sun breaths. I am yoga. Will you sing with me? Here we go. I am yoga, standing tall. I am yoga. Breathe out, breathe in. When the world spins, my heart opens again. Open up your heart. Here we go with our warrior flows. I can stand up for warrior 1. You got it.
I can stand up.
Warrior 2. Where's your peaceful warrior? You can stand up to the other side. Are you ready? You can stand up for me. I can stand up for you. You can stand up for peace. Beautiful. Now we're going to sing We Are Yoga 3 times together. Let's sing it really loud. Are you ready? Here we go. We are yoga, still and calm. We are yoga, standing tall. We are yoga. Breathe out, breathe in. When the world spins, my heart opens again. Oh, my friends, thank you so much for singing I Am Yoga and practicing your poses. Don't forget, boys and girls, that you can practice all of those poses on your own, and you can just share those poses with mom and dad and your family as well. You don't need to do it just when Miss Cheryl's on the video. So I want you to be practicing your tree pose that we learned. Another video, we learned mountain pose today, our warrior flow. Beautiful. So friends, I think it's time for us to finish up for today. So I'm going to ask everyone to take one more beautiful sun breath with me. I'm going to bend my knees. Try it with me. Take a big breath in all the way in with your nose. Join your hands. Let's breathe out and bring our hands all the way down to our heart. And would you repeat after me? May I be happy and healthy. May I be kind and caring. May I know that I am loved. Really, 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 really loved. And that all is well. My beautiful friends, the light that is in me shines on the light that is in each and every one of you. Namaste.